What's going on, guys? It's Talk SuperCoach back with a team update. And this is, of course, after the State of Origin match. It was a good match. I guess SuperCoach, you can't really take too much into it, but I did change my team because of it. So I don't know, but I not really. I half did and half didn't, and I'll tell you why in a sec. So in the forward line, I had to get rid of Fraser for this whole kind of restructure a bit. So I'm just gonna put in Lombard for now. So Fraser's gone. Let's go to the defense. Had to get rid of Callum Mills, and the reason will come very soon. So I'm gonna just bring in, why not Lindsay Taylor? What am I on about? Taylor. Xavier Taylor. And we'll go to the Rock first. And so Gorn, the State of Origin match legit had nothing to do with me getting rid of Gorn. It's just because he has hamstring tightness. I mean, the kid's 34. It just feels risky to go in with a kid that's 34. Is going to probably naturally regress. And the fact that he's already had an injury, like, is a bit injured now, it's not suiting that fancy for me. So I just went to the next best option and I picked Brodie Grundy. Now, I was actually on, I didn't bring him in, but I was actually on Brodie Grundy way before he went on his crazy run. You can't really fact check that, and I can't really prove it, but I'm just saying what I'm saying. But Grundy was outstanding last year, and he's done it before. You know, it wasn't just last year; he's done it in previous years too. But I reckon it's gonna be, well, if Gorn's fit and firing, it should be Gorn and Cherry for top two, but Grundy was always going to be a close third. And it's going to be close enough for me. So I don't really want Jackson. I think the mid-time, will it do him better or will it do him worse? I don't really know. I don't really have any concerns on the rock rolls. Tristan Xerri and Brodie Grundy are genuine stars for a reason, and they'll just adapt. And yeah, I'm happy to have both. I mean, Xerri was never, leaving, but Grundy is in my team now instead of Gorn due to that hamstring tightness. And Jacko, Cameron, English, they just not suiting that fancy for me. If I were to pick one of these three, it would be Jackson, I think, just because he also doesn't have that bye. But yeah, I'm going with Grundy, and I'm honestly probably locking that in now. So that's obviously a major. Actually, I'll get to some reasonings later, but we'll go on to the midfield, and you can probably guess who I've got in these positions. We're getting big Marcus Bontempelli. Honestly, they come as a package. The big three, Bont, Butters, and Dake. I decided I'm not going to run... If I'm going to run... I have two options. Either I only run Butters or I run all three. Because after the Origin match, I put in Dake. But then, I thought, you can't have Dake and then you not have Bont. And then it's just... That's just how it is for me, genuinely. So I've put both of them in, and honestly, just get the big three in now, and don't have to worry about it later. It sacrifices, for me, it means, another rookie on the field. So I'll also go through it. So, Mills was here, and Fraser was here. I added another so I added another extra mid in here, and then another rookie here. So in turn, I'm fielding another rookie on field, but it didn't really bother me considering... Well, firstly, considering... I can't own Mills and Fraser and then have Bont already. Because I already have Flanders. Let me just save the team because I want to show the buys. So if I go round 3... I mean, I already have Petrarca, Grundy, Bont out. Imagine I don't really want 4 premiums out on a buy. And I need Grundy. The Grundy was was pretty set in stone. So, I mean, I'm not going to get rid of Grunds. And because again, I don't really fancy any of the Ruckman. And then I can't start only 2 of the big 3. It just doesn't feel right. Like, you just get the big 3 in. So, and that's of course Bont. So I mean Fraser and Mills, and then I'm not gonna get rid of Petrarca. So I had to really just cop in and say sorry Mills and sorry Fraser. You just can't make it. The only thing is like changing and restructuring here is again that one more rookie, and then you miss out on that other premium score. But I think Bont, Butters and Dake early, and I made a video saying I'm not starting Dake, but now Bedford's injured, so he's not going to cop the tag. And I also realised that against Freo, the first game last year, he got tagged, and then in this second game, he actually went a half back. And I think if he gets attention in the Freo game again, and when do they play for it? It's early, right? Yeah. If he cops attention in the Freo game early, I think they'll do the same thing and just send him half back again. And this kid is just getting better and better. So, I'm happy to start him. I mean, these guys are the big 3, and there's not really much more to say than that, really. I mean, I know you could possibly go for more value and, you could go... Well, instead of starting your Bont and Dake, you can get, your Fraser and your Mills in, maybe, or whatever combo, or whatever premiums you like. You could get one more. And I get the value, you need value, but like the value only becomes value if other premiums, like Bont really drop down in a lot of price. Because say Bont, I mean, he's not going to maintain the 700k price tag for the whole year, but if he hovers at 680 to even 670 to 700 in the first 7 rounds, first of all, he's scoring points. Second of all, how are you getting this kid in? How are you getting this kid in? So, the value kind of slips away because you're going to spend most of your money from your rookies on getting your top dollar, premiums. But, that's kind of just how I'm thinking about it. But, of course it's different. Like, say your extra premium's doing really well, then, like, it's pretty good, but I just think the big 3... If are you really going to watch the footy without the big 3? And I know I kind of have switched up like the seasons, but I'm not based solely putting it on that State of Origin game. Like, I took Gorn out, of course, because of the hamstring, and then I put Dake in because of, well, first of all, the Bedford injury as well, and then, I'm just repeating myself here, but that's kind of my thinking towards it. Nothing too much on Xavier Taylor, he's just there for now. But that's the team update. I got rid of LDU. I still don't mind LDU. I was thinking, should I go LDU or Tom McCarthy, but I told myself last year that I'd rather pick a player that I like over a player that I don't really like LDU that much. Because last year I picked Who did I pick up a wit? It was Zorko. I picked him over wit, and that alone almost ruins the season. So, and well, it ruined it ruined the season for me because it's like, well, first of all the points, but I don't even like Zork, so it wasn't even, there was no extra fun watching him. But I like Witt, so I missed out on that. But I like McCarthy, so the only concern I have with McCarthy is he's in probably the worst team in the comp, meaning scaling points kind of goes out the window. I don't know, man. Like, you want to pick players you like, but like the way the scoring works and stuff, like, can they be competitive against Gold Coast? It is a way. Can West Coast, like, maybe show some fight? Like, you got to bank on some of this as well. Like, I mean, first game's always interesting, and now with Raul out, maybe it makes it a little bit more interesting. I don't know. I like McCarthy, but like, I'm getting a bit of cold feet on the kid. Not because of him, it's because he's on the worst team in the comp. So we're gonna just have to see closer to, round one. And the footy starts low-key soon, so it's crazy. And then SuperCoach, of course, starting pretty soon. But like this run, like Gold Coast, if they get smashed round one, there's not gonna be too many. I just need an average 105. McCarthy. I mean, like, they should be competitive against North. Port Adelaide, who knows how their season's going to pan out. I feel like they're pretty not great. So I think that could be a competitive match. Sydney, I mean, that's going to be a bit difficult. I think they're going to bounce back this year. Geelong's always a tough task. And then my boys, Freo, I'm expecting us to, of course, do well this year. So, but derbies are always, I mean, they're not really always competitive, And then Saints at Marvel, I don't know. It's just who would I go to from the... I mean, I've been so set on McCarthy basically the whole pre-season. But, like, I'm getting that cold feet now, and it's just not his fault. But the worst thing is, like, I've been so committed to McCarthy the whole pre-season, and then say I take him out, and then he goes crazy, then it's just gonna be worse. That's the problem with kind of starting a team early. You kind of get that attachment too early. But at the end of the day, you just got to look at it from what you think's gonna be right for the team. I can assure you, Zeri's not moving from this team. Sheasel's not moving. Petrarca's not moving. Flanders isn't moving. The only, if they're, I don't know, Grundy or Jackson. I'm pretty set on Grundy, to be honest, but I can tell you Flanders is locked in. Petrarca, Sheasel, Zeri, Butters is locked in. Steele is pretty much locked in. It's going to get, the time where you got to lock these players in. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.